tell you something I wish someone told me? You don't have to be fully ready to begin. You just have to be brave enough to show up as you are. This video is for the woman who keeps stalling on her dream, not because she's lazy or lost, but she's waiting to feel more confident, more qualified, more polished. But beneath all of that, she's scared. And if that's you, you're safe here because I've been there. And I know what it's like to want it so badly and still freeze when it's time to take that first step. In this video, I'll be sharing what I learned from starting before I felt ready, the myths that we need to unlearn about confidence, and 2 soft but powerful ways you can begin today without pressure, without perfection, just you as you are. So let's get into it. I know how hard it is to really want something so bad and you're so scared to start because you're scared of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen if you start this new project or if you start this new business, and it can be a very terrifying place to be. And for me, I've started a lot of things before I was ready, and it's taken me places where I could have only dreamed of. So for example, when I first started my first business, Party Shop Avenue, we do luxury balloon decor. And I'm telling you, I started this business just out of fate. Like, I was just believing in myself, and I just knew that I wanted to do these amazing organic installations. And at the time, there were not many designing this style of balloon decor. So I really had to start something so scared because I didn't even know if there was a market for this. And also, I'm going to be selling at a high price point. Everyone was used to old school balloons, and they're like, who's going to pay this much for balloon decor? So I had to really believe in myself. So I could tell you I was the most terrified person to start this, but I started before I was ready. I just started going for it. I started to just use my background from floral design and event design and started to scale this business. And I say that to say, if there's anything that you want to do, you have to be willing to take that first step scared. And another example for me is even when I started my podcast. I never had a podcast before in my life. I didn't know the first step to podcasting. I just did some research. I took a little course and I brought some equipment and I just started. Before I started, I was scared that my voice would crack or that I would ramble and that no one would care about what I had to say. And all of those fears started to kick in, but I recorded anyway because the dream in my heart was louder than the fear in my head. And you have to let that dream be louder than anything that's going on around you. And that's how you start getting to that goal and getting to where you want to go. And I'm telling you, that moment did not look perfect, but it was real and it changed everything. And now to flash forward, hear the feedback from the podcast, even just also my business, I'm just blessed that I started scared and I didn't allow my fears to get in the way of my dreams. So there are a few myths about being fully ready. So we're going to break those down gently so you have a better understanding so you can get out of your own way. So for starters, readiness isn't a finish line. It's a decision that you make in motion. And most people feel doubt before they start. And I just want to say that doubt is always going to kick in whenever you're starting something new because your body is comfortable with where you are now because you gain that comfort over time. I'm sure when you first started that job or when you first started taking that Pilates class or you first did something that really challenged you, I'm sure there were doubts and fears. Can I do this? Am I qualified? Am I going to be able to succeed in this? All of those fears come up, but you did it anyway, right? And I feel like it's a little easier to be like, okay, I'm going to college. This is the college I'm going to go to. And yes, the fears are going to come up, but I want to go to school because I want to be successful. And also when it comes to fitness, a lot of people decide, I want to go to the gym today or I want to go to this Pilates class. I'm going to try it out. I don't know how it's going to be, but I'm going to try it because I want to get more fit. But I feel like it's so much fear when it's time to really invest in yourself and start a business. That is like the fears just consume you and you don't start it. I found out that it's a fear of being seen and it's a fear of people seeing you in this new version of yourself and not believing it because you don't believe it yet. So you feel like as soon as I start this business, no one's going to believe that I'm doing this. Or you start to have all these doubts and that's what keeps you from starting. So you have to know the version of you who can do the thing only shows up when you begin. That's it. You have to just show up and start doing the thing in order for people to start respecting you, for people to start acknowledging your business and all of these things. And I had to learn that firsthand. When I started my balloon business, again, not a lot of people were like cheering me on and rooting me on. I had my close friends and family, yes, but I didn't have a lot of supporters in the beginning, but I had to earn that by just taking it day by day and getting the experience. And then once I start posting and once I start getting the clients, people are like, wow, your business is growing, your business is thriving. And it's like you have to show up in order to get that acknowledgement. And showing up is just showing up every day and starting before you're ready to show up. Perfection keeps you in delay, but growth lives in motion. You have to have movement and you have to get out of your own way. And I feel like so many people say that every day, like in all these videos, you have to get out of your own way, but it literally you do. You have to every day show up as this new version of yourself. And it's scary because you don't know the steps. Not everything's going to go right when you're starting that new business, that new project, but that's okay because you're going to gain so much experience on your journey that you're going to be like this genius and a master of your craft. For me now, I can say if anyone asks me any question about balloons, about business, I can answer it because I've had so much experience and it was through me making so many mistakes when I started and throughout my journey. There's no guidebook to what you want to do. Yes, there's courses, there's ebooks, all of those things, but you still have to take the step after you purchase the course or after you buy that ebook or after you talk to your mentor. You have to be the one who takes the step and actually starts it and not overanalyze and should I do this? I don't know. Like maybe what if I don't have enough money? What if it doesn't succeed? What if this happens? What if no one buys? What if I don't find any clients? What if I don't even know how to market? I'm scared to be in front of the camera. All of these fears, they're all going to come up. But you have to break through those fears in order to see the other side. And a lot of people get stuck right here. Your dreams and goals are right here and you're here, but you just don't want to get through this part. You're scared of all of these like lines and curves. Like you don't know, but the amazingness is right here. But you got to just do it. I want you to reframe your readiness because you grow into the person who can handle this dream. And that's just by showing up when it's a little messy. And I show up on this YouTube channel and it's messy and I try to make it as clean cut as I could, but sometimes I'm struggling as well. Like I am just trying to do my best here. And for me, I just want to try my best to show up as much as I can, even though I have a whole lot of things going on, businesses in the works. Like it's a lot and it's messy, but it's me. It's my journey. And I'm not going to try to replicate anybody else in general. I'm authentic to myself. And that's all you have to be is authentic to you. And that's where you will thrive. And that's where you will flourish. And to say that your dream has to be the real you, not the perfect you. And I've had to come to terms with that because I have a aesthetic that I do enjoy. But I remember when I first started my YouTube, I wanted things to be so perfect and I wanted everything to be right. But that put so much pressure on my back. So when I just started putting the camera up and getting as ready as I wanted to get and started filming myself, I think that's when everything became a little bit more seamless for me. I think one of my most popular videos is the one when I'm sharing my journey of starting my business. That was the video I got the most feedback on because I was truly my authentic self sharing my story. And now I just try to integrate my story within all my videos so that you guys have reference points, not just tips. You need to see that someone has actually did whatever you're trying to do so that you can actually get there. So your dream doesn't have to be the most polished version of you. It needs to be the most honest version. The one who's willing to show up with shaky hands and a steady heart. And just know that all of these coaches, creators, artists, they all started somewhere. And people connect with the real you and not the rehearsed version. Just know that you don't inspire others by being flawless. You inspire them by being human, being you, and whoever that is. But I feel like a major inner work thing that you should do is truly understand who you are. I feel like in this society, in this time and specifically, there's a lot of people who are walking around trying to have false identities and they want to be people that they perceive are this like level of aesthetic. Like for example, living in LA, I was born and raised in LA. So when people see me out, they're like, "You're from here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Wow, like you're so chill." I feel like LA girls are really chill, and we are for the most part because we were born here, we're raised here, and we know the vibes. I feel like a lot of people come to LA and they put on this persona of what they think LA is, and that's not who we are. So it's very inauthentic. And I feel like so many people will be way more successful if they come from wherever they're from and show up in this space as themselves because it makes you a little bit more curious. Who is this person? And that's what people want to see. So whenever you're starting this business, if you're from the South, if you have a heavy accent, show those parts of yourself because people want to see that authenticity because it's not seen every day. Everyone's so curated. Everyone is just trying to be someone who they're not. And that's why I say it's really easy to just be yourself, and then your people will come to you. And I've seen it so many times with my first business, with building my platforms. My audience is just drawn to me because of who I am and how I make them feel. So I'm gonna give you 2 ways to start today. So if you've been waiting for the perfect time, let this be your sign. So the first one is just to voice note your dream. Just grab your phone and record a 1-minute voice note and just say your dream out loud and let it be yours. You're doing this because it activates your vision in a real embodied way, and it helps you with the manifestation process. And the second way is to do the first 2%. What's the tiniest step? Not the whole plan, but just the first 2%. What's that tiny percent that you can start with? Maybe it'll be writing the first sentence of your bio, sketching that first offer title, researching a podcast name, creating your business mission. Those are micro steps that you started, and then you start to just start flowing. You start feeling that excitement, and then you keep going. You don't stop there, but just find that 2%, and just know that momentum doesn't come from doing it all. It comes from doing something. So every day, decide 2% you're going to do to get your dreams moving. Leave a comment below on what you're about to start working on. I want to know, like, I'm a little bit nosy. Drop that below. And if you're in the space where you want to move forward, but just don't know where to start, I created something just for you. It's called the Clarity Blueprint. It's a simple, gentle guide to help you untangle your ideas, reconnect with your vision, and take the next aligned step. You can download it for free. The link will be in the description. So with that being said, I just want you to know there's already a version of you who is ready, not because she knows everything, but because she's willing to try. What's one small way you can show up as her today? Drop it in the comments below. Start where you are, and that's enough. So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.